The rising cost of healthcare in retirement. Now, this is a big deal. This is a big deal. And I think a lot of people think that I minimize that some things in retirement do increase with expenses or do have increasing expenditures as you age. And healthcare is one for sure. And this is, you got to focus on this, man, because this can be a big expense of yours, especially if you have your mortgage paid off, if your income taxes are low, your property taxes are low, and you just living a simple life, man. And when I say simple, it doesn't mean it's boring. It just means, yeah, you're pretty content without a huge amount of expenditures. Healthcare is a big one. All right, so let me just show you the Guide to Retirement. Again, this will be the last one I do on this year's Guide to Retirement from JP Morgan. This is page 38, their Guide to Retirement. And rising healthcare costs in retirement. All right, so what we're going to do is going to make this bigger because I can't hardly see it because my eyes are, I tell you, since I started wearing reading glasses, my eyes have got worse. I think glasses make your eyes worse. It's all a big scam by big glass company. Big glasses. Well, what would be the big optometry? That's what it is. You know, we got big green, big oil, big government, big labor, big optometry. They say, oh, if we can get people in glasses, their eyes will get worse, so we can sell more glasses. Yes, big optometry. Big optometry, I'm on to you. All right, so here we are. If you're 65 years old, and this is literally exactly what I use for my right capital, essentially. I use between $500 and $550 a month once you're on Medicare. Now, how do we get that? Well, you see, this is our breakdowns right here. 65 years old. Part B, 165. I show about $200 a month. I just like to overestimate the bad things and underestimate the good things in right capital. It's just the nature of me being from Maine, dude. I'm cautiously pessimistic in everything I do. It's just if you're from, I'm not just from Maine. I'm from an island off of Portland, Maine. All right, so not just being from Maine, I'm from Peaks Island, a tiny little island. I lived there for the first, 14 years of my life, something like that. Yeah, boats come and go. The boats don't come, you're not going. You know what I'm saying? Or the goods aren't coming either. Anyway, so I'm cautiously pessimistic. So they got 165 for Medicare Part B. They got Part D, prescription drug premiums and out-of-pocket costs as well. So I use $50 a month for Part D. They're throwing in out-of-pocket costs in here as well. I throw that someplace else, but that's what they're saying. They're saying $50 is basically $40 a month for Part D, but they're also throwing out-of-pocket costs in there as well. So essentially, they're using both these together. About what's that? $280, and I'm using about $300 for Part B and Part D. Now they're using about $280. I'm using about $250 or so for those two right there. Now they got other out-of-pocket costs, about $100 a month, and they got Medicap. They got about $135 for Medigap or Medicare Supplement. They're using a part of Plan G, so they get about $515 depending on your state. I'll give about $500 a month, or for a more expensive state like Massachusetts, Connecticut, I'll give it, or California, I think I can't remember. But basically, I give between $500 and $550 a month. Now you can replace Medicare Supplement with a Medicare Advantage, and this can be very, very low. I don't recommend that if you have the cash flow, because remember, Medicare Advantage or Part C is an HMO. Medicare Supplement is basically a PPO, if that makes sense. Now, all this is in flux anyway. I'm telling you, as reimbursement rates go down, less and less doctors are going to take Medicare. It's going to be insane. But for what it is right now, that's what we're going with. All right, so now they're using an inflation rate of 6% a year. I use 5.5. I'm not sure why they're saying 6% a year. In fact, I know they're using 6% a year until 2053, 30 years from now. If you actually look at the CMS, the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, their numbers, they actually say, I think it's 2035 or 37, the growth will start dropping off. There'll be decelerating growth. So I think they got 6% between now and the mid-2030s, and then it'll start going from 6 to 5.5 to 4.9 and whatnot. So I disagree with their take that's going to be 6% inflation from now until you're dead. But I use 5.5 because there is somewhat of a kind of like, I don't know what you call it, a rainbow, I guess. Rainbow. Do you know the rainbow is a proof of the bending of light? Really? The rainbow is a bending of light? Come on. I hear that all the time. The light bends, the rainbow proves it. Oh, so you can actually have a starting point at the rainbow and just follow it along. All right, anyway, so we got here we got uncertainties, healthcare inflation variability, Medicare solvency issues. So they're throwing another $82 a month for the we just don't know what we don't know. Then they're saying if we got 6% increase each and every year, Part B is going to go from 165 to 390. Your Part D will go from 115 to 270. Your other out-of-pocket, so this is just basic inflation here, and then your Medicap will increase as well. And I kind of agree with that 100%. Again, I think this right here, the uncertainties, I appreciate they having some sort of method in there to account for that. But how do you budget uncertainty? You see what I'm saying? I mean, you can't really budget, man. So I don't do that. I just say, look, we got $550 a month right here, and we increase it 5.5% each and every year with inflation on a linear basis, compounded, by the way. I don't have a budget for uncertainties because we don't know what those uncertainties were, and if they do come, you have to pay for out-of-pocket expense anyway, and they might not come. So it's just like you can't. I mean, you can budget things like I keep an emergency fund. I get that, but how do you budget an uncertainty on a monthly basis? I don't think that's wise financial planning because it's uncertain. Budgeting for should be the things we know, and then we have an emergency plan or a liquidity plan. So the things that we don't know that happen, we have money to pay for those things. Hope that makes sense. Love to hear your thoughts. I guarantee, I should say that. I highly imagine if you're on Medicare right now, you'll probably agree with these numbers. If anything, you'll probably say they're too high. I've had that happen many times where people say, I'm not, they're on Part C as opposed to Medicare supplemental policy. And they'll say, I don't pay anything. I get that. My concern, frankly, is what happens when you have a need. Are you going to be able to go to your primary care provider? And the answer is probably not. I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's a difference between HMOs and PPOs. Are they going to be able to see you in a timely manner? It changes on Medicare Advantage in terms of the stuff they provide for you as well. I have no qualm with getting it. It's an annualized thing. And it changes every year, and you got to keep up with that. I'm kind of lazy. I don't want to keep up with that. I'm just going part with a planned supplemental plan. I'll talk to my man J.O. up there in maximizeyourmedicare.com, or Danielle Roberts down there at boomerbenefits.com. I'll say, give me a plan, and we'll revisit every year. That's what I'm going to do. That's what you should probably do too. All right, love your thoughts. We'll see. Oh, don't forget, if these videos are helpful, buy me a cup of coffee. It's in the doobie-doo. I got to keep advertising that, man. I got to get the people to send money to me who find these videos helpful. You don't have to be a monthly subscriber, on my local channel. You can say, Josh, that video was helpful. Here's $5 a cup of coffee. Decaf, of course, is in the doobie-doo. And don't forget to sign up for my email list. It's down below as well. We'll see you.